Hi guys, welcome back. I did dye my hair pink.
I dyed my hair half black, but then part of it got stained on the blonde side, so this will have to be corrected at some point. But
here we are. We are coming in with a Pan That palette update, the Be Perfect Carnival palette. We've made a whirlwind of progress.
And changes.
Yes, and changes. So if you're interested to see what all has happened within a little bit over a month since our camera was being stupid, then just keep on watching. So, we depotted it. There is still one shade left, Chant, because we decided that we're going to not put that in the project because there's a small pan in it and
we don't like the color.
We don't like the color. We don't use it. So we're just taking that out. So far, we've used up the shade Shuffle, Keen, Mood, and Funky. So it was like a mustardy, a yellow, a hot pink, and a dark blue. A navy, if you will.
So if you're new here, we were only panning the colorful mattes. That was the goal. We decided we weren't going to be, we were kind of playing with the neutrals, but we aren't going to pan those out completely. We just decided we depotted it and we decluttered the shades that we were not using. So we just put them, the shades that we are panning in this Tarte palette. There were some casualties. So some of the shadows have much more progress now because we just, for one, we don't really have rubbing alcohol right now. We have a little bit, but we're trying to salvage that because you can't get it anywhere, so we can't really repress a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
So this is kind of what we're looking like now. So the blue shade has the most damage to it because we had plenty more of that, and then same with Liquor, the deepest color. I have a video that I took right before I depotted it, so I'll insert that so you guys can see. There was still a ton of progress on every shade, and I'm trying not to beat myself up over the fact that we had some casualties, and a part of it, like, we really couldn't save. I did repress as much as possible, but part of them we couldn't even save because it kind of had flown everywhere. I discovered when depotting it that the metal in the pans is very flexible. So the shadows would crack. Like the pan would bend. So then the shadows would pop out of it. And so I noticed that through my test run, when I was depotting the shades that I didn't like, that we weren't going to use up. And so we ended up condensing it, and here we are now. So we'll insert that little video so you can see there's a lot more progress on some of the shades, but I'm not going to beat myself up because we've been using the crap out of it for the last few months or however long we've done this project, and we've been using the shit out of it since we bought it a couple years ago. So it's not a big deal. It'll be fine, but that's what we're looking like now. So we finished up 4 shades in total before we depotted. Yeah, so this month, I think definitely finishing up Liquor, the deepest shade in here, is going to be attainable for sure. Even the deeper green, probably. I'm going to have to really focus on mint. For some reason, this is not a shade of mint that I gravitate towards very often. I like the shade, but maybe because it cracked and I pressed it in a little bit more, it might be a little more, like, less hard pressed. It's a very hard pressed mint, so there's still pigment out of it, but it's really hard to make a dip in it. For sure. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of progress. We are toying with the idea, and I probably will be doing this, I don't know about Rachel, but kind of doing a Pan That palette, like a rolling Pan That palette almost, but with our depotted shades. So for example, in this little Tarte palette, I put a bunch of ColourPop shades and then a couple randos in here that we have good progress on, like pans on and stuff. And I think after these are done, we're going to kind of roll this in and do a rolling style. So every time we finish up a shade, we're going to insert a new shade that we have depotted, a single shadow of sorts, because we don't go through shadows very often. And that's something I would like to do, especially with the ones we depotted. Yeah. It just makes sense. It just makes sense to do that. And ones that we have pan on, like, yes, it's nice to hit pan on things. Like, it's really cool to watch, but then what? Like, you hit pan and then you don't touch it for 3 years? Like, that doesn't make sense. So we both want to make a conscious effort to finish up things that we're really enjoying. If we miss them, we can repurchase them. Most of the time though, if we finish something up, we replace it with something else, and then we find something else that we like more since our preferences change so much. So, like, the only reason I will be debating repurchasing this palette, which I don't think I will, is because Mood is different in the other. The deep navy is the best in XL. This is the best navy, but we have Natasha Denona navies that we can use. We also have the other Be Perfect Carnival navy, even though it's not remotely as good. We have navies, so there's no point. There's no point for now until we have no navies left. But this is our favorite palette, and it's really exciting that we're actually, like, using up a palette. I mean, I don't think that those had that much in them. The formula is so powdery, and we hit pan on them very quickly. Even like anybody that you see on Instagram that owns that palette probably has a bunch of pans in it, because they're really easy. They're kind of like ABH in that way. Their shadows are really easy to hit pan on. They're really powdery because they're so powdery and beautiful and pigmented and incredible and lovely in every way. We are going to be buying the new Carnival palette if you haven't seen that.
Looks stunning.
Oh, it's available August 10th. So we will be getting that. Other than that, though, we are going on a more strict, not a no buy, but a very low buy since we're moving, and we're going to be filming still, but we aren't. There's not going to be as much versatility in what we're going to use, because A, we're decluttering, and B, we packed up all of our makeup besides some of the random stuff we have out here, just so we can focus on our project pan items, and then we have stuff ready to move when it's time. So that's about a month out, but we want to be prepared. So
we're just packing like crazy. We've got a ton of boxes already. I mean, whatever, it's fine. I think we have like 6 eyeshadow palettes that we left out just to kind of have to play with and stuff like that, but we're gonna pack up the majority of it. But yeah, I guess that's kind of all for our update. There's not much to say about these updates, but I am super stoked at the progress. I think especially with the casualties, we could probably get these finished within the next couple months. Mint may be the longest one, but I think overall, I think we could get the rest finished within the next couple months if we really, you know, kind of
double down on them.
I haven't used it in the past couple days because I'm like, well, we already lost so much shadow, and I don't want to come here with like 10 empty shadows and be like, well, look what we did. Like, we didn't do that. Not on the eyes anyway. But as always, at the end of the video, we will insert some pictures of looks we've done with the Carnival palette throughout this journey. Within the last month or so, we use it all the time, so you'll have lots of fun stuff to look at. If you want to see more, go to our Instagram, Twintorials, that's our handle, and then our Twitter. We don't post as much makeup pictures on there anymore, but that's Twintorials as well if you want to see updates on there. And I guess that's all from us today, so enjoy the slideshow, and we hope to see you in the next video. Bye!